Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Joe's Fred Arnold on the Southern California Business Spotlight. I'm joined by two great, I want to say young professionals, but Taylor Kellstrom's not that young, but he's young, right?
Yeah.
I saw him growing up. I used to ride motorcycles.
Yes, sir.
Did you ride them professionally or just for
I
fun?
did.
Yeah?
I did back in the day, and then I got hurt too many times, and at 19 had to retire, unfortunately. But ended up being a good thing. Changed my career path, and things have gone really well since.
Yeah, local kid. Recently recognized as one of the top 51 most influential individuals in the Santa Clarita Valley, and a realtor with Homesmart Realtors. Yep. And Preston Dominguez. Preston Dominguez is a mortgage professional at American Family Funding.
Yep.
Boy, taking the business by storm, because I love Preston. He's not afraid to talk to anyone at any time to help them out and get into a home. So
Yeah.
welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on with the market right now?
So right now the market inventory is extremely low. Santa Clarita is basically actually really anywhere in Southern California. Inventory is really low at the moment. So anyone that's looking to sell a home is a great time to sell because of the inventory being low. So the demand for homes is so high that most homes are getting multiple offers left and right, which is kind of unique. But what's kind of neat too about the market being that way, for a first-time home buyer, being able to go through the pre-approval process and all that, your offer is going to be more enticing to somebody that's selling a home to go buy another home, which is kind of a little bit different. And what I mean by that is, because of you being a first-time home buyer, your offer is not contingent on anything other than, making sure your loan goes through and things like that, compared to somebody who has to sell their house in order to get the money to buy a new house. Their offer is contingent. So your offer, being a first-time home buyer, is actually a lot more enticing to somebody selling a home, because there's not so many steps to jump through in order to get that home sold.
Taylor, a little plug for Taylor. Recently working with a client that was also one of our clients,
Yep.
and Taylor went everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Saugus, Valencia, Newhall, Canyon Country. They ended up buying in Acton. And how many times you go for a home inspection, but it didn't matter to you. It was serving the client wherever their needs were.
Yeah, and it was a type of property that was exactly what he wanted, and it was in his price range, and it was one of those things that it came up, and we jumped on it immediately, and we drove around. I mean, we went and looked at maybe 30, 40 houses prior to this one coming up out in Acton and Saugus and Castaic, and this property ended up being really perfect, and we were really fortunate to get our offer accepted and closed 30 days later.
Yep, and that's what I respect so much about you. Preston Dominguez, tell us about one of Taylor's clients comes in, and what do you do to get them qualified so they can buy that house?
So the typical process just involves getting a loan application, finding out what they want to do, purchase price, down payment, stuff like that, and then receiving all their documents, tax returns, pay stubs, everything we're going to need to get them pre-approved. And then we usually suggest most of the clients to get pre-approved compared to pre-qualified. So like Taylor said, if you get pre-approved, your offer is a lot more attractive to potential sellers and potential agents compared to just a pre-qualification. Everything gets completely underwritten by the underwriter, and it looks a lot better, makes you a lot more competitive.
Yeah, and a lot of confidence. Let's talk about rent versus own.
Yeah, first off, if you're not planning on staying in a town for that long, then I'd say renting is a better option. However, if you work in the town, or you love the community that you live in, and your kids go to school out here, and you plan on staying somewhere for a long time, buying is definitely a much better option. One of the cool things about buying is it's like a built-in savings. Every month if you purchase a home, every month that you make your payment, you're essentially creating a thing called equity. So an example is, let's say you buy a house for $400,000, and 15 years later you only owe $200,000. And at that time, the house is worth $500,000. You have $300,000 in equity. So if you sold the house, you'd be making $300,000. Compared to if you're renting, you're literally just paying a landlord the money every month, and you're not saving anything up as far as that goes.
Yeah. Preston, payments don't typically go up when you're on a 30-year fix, do they?
No, compared to rent and your fixed mortgage is going to be the same for the 30 years you're in the house. Mm-hmm. Your landlord can change the rent every month, every year, every 2 years, however often he wants to change the rent, and it's not as stable.
Yeah. Also, Preston, one thing a lot of people don't talk about is part of your payment is paying down principal, which is building equity.
Yep. So every time, all of your payment goes down to either interest or principal. Mm-hmm. So you pay down the principal, each payment, you're building equity, like Taylor said, so you can draw on that equity. If you need to refinance, take some cash out, pay for college, whatever it is, you have that there for you, and you're building wealth in your home.
I got a surprise question for both of you, and then we're done.
Okay.
What's the one thing a buyer should do before buying a home?
Get pre-qualified.
Get
Pre-approved.
Yeah,
Sorry.
pre-approved.
Pre-approved.
What's the one thing a borrower should do when it comes to buying a house and getting a pre-approved?
Check their credit, build
Yes.
their credit.
Make sure, because you could find out what that is, right?
Exactly.
And there's ways to get a better credit score with doing it
100%.
the right way. It's just having the knowledge to be able to say, maybe pay off a little bit of this, maybe clean up this collection account, maybe do this, maybe do that. And that's what a professional such as you can do.
Yep.
Yeah. Taylor, those that can reach out to you. First of all, he does a lot of great work in the community.
Thank
Very
you.
involved in Circle Hope.
Yep, I'm the current president of Circle of Hope at the moment, and I'm an ambassador for Children's Hospital.
Love it. Does a bowling tournament, a lot of events now. I think the
Absolutely.
the tea
We
event.
have our afternoon tea for Circle of Hope coming up on the 8th of October, so definitely check out our website at circlehopeinc.org
Yep.
for information on that.
Yeah. Young man that's going places.
Thank you.
Preston Dominguez. How can those who want to reach you reach you?
Can reach me on my cell, 661-645-7875.
Perfect. In the office?
661-505-4323. I don't use that one as much.
Yeah.
And to get a hold of me, you can contact me on my cell phone, 661-714-8915, or I do own a college textbook store out here. You can get a hold of me. I'm always there too, 661-287-0103.
Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Kellstrom, Homesmart Realtors, one of the top, well, actually this year, the top most influential in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Yep.
And all the charity work he does. And Preston Dominguez, young man that I have a lot of appreciation for and is up and coming and making things happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Southern California Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Fred Arnold on KHTS.